We've got some more events that are using the Gorn hostiles as a way to score. Because not just for this event, this new refinery for the ISO matter is really, really good. And that's what you get when you hit the Gorn hostiles. You can see I've got a bunch up there. What you can pull in this refinery is really good stuff. You're getting Enterprise and Voyager officers. You're getting artifacts, and it also has the new stuff and the old, so it's really good. And then you get resources. Every payout that I've got on has been worth engaging with the Gorn, even though that one event is kind of screwed up. You want to be able to do this every day. This is an everyday event for me now on. Some of the sourcing in here is pretty good for this stuff in here. And like, I've already tiered up my eye one. And it also has one that's important to me, like the book there. It's worth engaging in. It's maybe one of the better loops they put in a while. So we need to crew those guys. I'm going to give you 4 different options. I have all 3 of the new crew unlocked. And I will tell you, they're a very good crew for the Gorn. They'll be even better when the Doctor and Sam Kirk is tiered up more higher. But these 3 on top for the Gorn is really good, and I'll show you why. Sam Kirk's officer ability, tier 1, is pretty awesome. I can't wait to tier this guy up and see. You can see he tiers out at 350%. Increases critical damage for non-Armada hostiles. Sam, like I said, Sam is good out of the box. He gets even better. Okay, he increased mitigation. So what that means, Chapel is plus 2,500 and Sam Kirk 1,500. Well, if I do a little switch here, I put Himmer. Himmer's a health officer, so look, I get full synergy there, but I don't want Himmer there. I'm going to put him below deck here. Okay. And you can see down below deck, I've got Tendi, Mariner, E-Troy, BT, and Hugh there. What's good about this set, it's powerful enough for me to punch up Chapel. On deck, she gives me a 50% loot boost on these Gorn. But Chapel's going to be a bigger player below deck on most sets. On this one, we're going to make her a bridge officer to get all the Gorn loot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit 4 hostiles with each crew that I'm going to do. I'm going to leave the thing up where you can see how it scores, and we'll look at how much loot we get after all 4 of them and how much hull damage we get after all 4 of them. So the first crew we're going to test is the new officers from the Strange New World series. Made for this, like I said, but the only issue is they're low tiered. I got a tier 1 Doctor, tier 1 Sam Kirk, tier 2 Chapel. Okay, this crew allows me to punch up into the 63s on the Gorn and do pretty well at it. Like I said, I'm going to take out 4. I'm going to leave it in this mode so you can see the scoring. And you want to use the battle triangle if you can. So I'm only going to hit the battleships with my interceptor here. 2. Okay, I'm getting like almost 9 billion. And that's been pretty average. I've gotten up to like 13. I don't know why it varies, but it does. So Okay, look at the whole damage I got down there. Not very much. I could probably do 20, maybe 25. And I got 4,500 in loot to spend in the refinery. That's 4 hostiles. We saw how the new Strange New Worlds crew scored. They scored pretty well. We got that loot bonus from Chapel. Okay, for this crew, Sam's going away. The Doctor's going away. Himmer's going away. And Chapel's going below deck. Why? For this Protocol 12. Right now, she increases my Cascade Isolytic damage 10%. And this is going to make her a very valuable officer in the game. This is going to be Chapel's biggest plus in the game is below deck for this ISO damage. I will venture to say that it'll be a toss-up which is better, her or Hugh, for below deck for PvE. She's going to go below deck. And this is going to be my max Isolytic crew. Okay, I'm going to go with Picard. Picard, I actually get a loot bonus. As you know, as Captain ability, I get 60% of the base bonus. But his officer ability is more Cascade Isolytic damage. So he's going to be a plus. E-Data. More Cascade Isolytic damage. Janeway. Again, more Cascade Isolytic damage. So I've got 3 officers in this set. I've got E-Data, Picard's officer ability, Janeway's officer ability, and then I've got the little lady below deck. Okay, I'm back in the system again. I'm going to do it slowly and do 4 of them. So we can see how they score. Around the same, about the same pointage as the other one. But this one will trip high for some reason. I've got 18 billion in here one time. There's a 6. Let's do one more. Okay, the damage about the same, so I got no benefit on that. Let's look at the loot. Wow, that shocks me that I got more loot with this Isolytic crew. This is probably going to be the crew you want to use until I tear Chapel up. But I'll give you some more. Here's one that was real popular on Discord. I'm going to show you this one. This is the one I'm going to call the Mud Crew. Oh, here they are. Okay, I'm going to replace E. Picard with Harry Mudd and Janeway with Row Mud. You still get your Isolytic from E-Data and now Chapel below. Okay, let's go on and we'll go back into the system once again with the Mud Crew. What's good about this crew, most everybody should have these, and they should be higher tiered. Even lower players who crank out that Apex event, they should be able to have some of these outlaw officers pretty high, because that's how you score in the event, by upgrading the officers or making pulls in the officer tree in there. So most people should have both Harry Mudd and Row Mudd. And E-Data's been in the game, and you know the importance of it. You should have E-Data as well. So let's see. What I've found, this is a very powerful crew, but the loot is lacking. This is why I wouldn't use this crew, and I'll show you why. Let's see how it scores. About the same. About 6 billion is how it's scoring so far. Let's see if it does. That's one. There's a guy doing battleships in here, so I'm gonna make sure I don't lose count, because it's gonna take me a while to find them. Two. Still around, so you're getting about 2 billion less per hostile versus the Isolytic crew. So we got one more after this. See, I got barely any hull damage. I could do these all day. I could do this all day with these, but you're going to see the downfall of this crew in just a second after I do this last one. Five. So around 6 billion. The others were doing somewhere between 8 and 9 billion. So they for scoring in the event, most definitely one of those other crews are better. So let's look at the loot. 3,000. So yeah, this, for an everyday crew, I wouldn't use this at all. Maybe for events, because you can see I have barely any hull damage at all. I could do these all day in here. So event-wise, you saw how far it is to get to this thing. You can hit more of these on one hull, so you may score much higher after all. Even though it's 2 billion less per hostile, if you hit, I don't know, you hit 15, 20 more of them, you'll definitely score higher using this one. So for a PvE crew, this is definitely a good choice, but for every day, keeping the refinery full with the loot, no. But you can see I can keep going, and I barely have any hull damage at all. For power, this is definitely the crew. Most everybody watching this video should have Harry Mudd and Row Mudd. If you don't have any of these other officers, this is one you can try. Mudd needs to be tiered fairly high. This is an easy set to come up with, and you can see it scored decently with the Isolytic, with the help that I give it, but it's very powerful. You saw very little hull damage that it did. You know, I could probably do twice as many as I could either one of the other ones, at least. So this is one that you might want to do for PvE. Now for the ultimate loot crew, my lady back up here. Let's go below deck. Let's put the doctor there. Let's go group. Let's put Picard, Janeway. This gives me loot bonuses from Picard, Chapel, and the doctor below. Let's see how this does on there. So we know we're gonna score at least as high as the other one, but what kind of damage can it take? Let's see. Let's do 4. Not too bad. Let's. Oh, and about the same, about a little over 6. So this is a viable crew for this. Okay, I would say slightly more damage than the complete Strange New Worlds crew and my Isolytic crew. But let's see. Let's see what the bonus is right here with the loot. Yeah, yeah, you got a lot more loot doing it that way. But you're going to sacrifice number of hostiles that you could hit. If this was a loot event, this would be a no-brainer crew for this. This is a possibility for a daily crew that fills your refinery. Okay, that gives you some crewing to think about. There's a lot of, you can see there are different options. They're pretty close in a lot of ways. One, if you want to get more loot. One, you need more power to punch up. You got some options here. So until next time.